Hey everyone, welcome back to Young Lord Tech. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. Real quick, before we jump into it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more mind-expanding content. Okay, so today we're embarking on this incredible explainer journey through the radical evolution of military strategy. We're looking at a fundamental shift in how global security actually operates. We're moving way away from the traditional physical battlefields we all recognize and stepping into a wild new world defined by invisible front lines. So let's dive right into this. To truly understand where national security is heading, we first have to ground ourselves in where it's been. For centuries, the speed of warfare was basically dictated by the physical limitations of humans and machinery. Eventually, we broke the sound barrier, but even supersonic missiles are still bound by the laws of mass aerodynamics. But today, we're crossing a totally new threshold. The future of conflict isn't just moving faster than the speed of sound anymore, it's literally moving at the speed of light. To put this into perspective, think about a declassified 1960s Joint Chiefs document detailing a proposed intervention in Cuba. It honestly perfectly captures the old military paradigm. That approach was highly physical, it was time-phased, and it relied heavily on geographical borders and moving massive amounts of troops and hardware across an ocean. Everything was strictly sequential. You measured it in days, in weeks, and in thousands of tons of steel. That right there is the absolute blueprint of 20th century warfare. But here's the thing. That mid-century strategy simply doesn't map onto today's threats. We've shifted from that old paradigm of physical troops and finite missiles to a deeply asymmetric new reality. Today's battlefields are completely dominated by drone swarms and loitering munitions. These are specifically designed to overwhelm defenses through sheer numbers in what we call saturation attacks. And the core problem is that traditional kinetic missiles are finite. A defense battery only holds so many interceptor missiles, right? If an adversary sends more drones than you have missiles, well, the defense collapses. And that massive vulnerability brings us to the ultimate solution for saturation attacks. Enter directed energy weapons, or DEWs. These completely bypass physical ammunition altogether. Instead, they deliver destructive energy at the speed of light. So instead of firing a solid projectile to knock an incoming drone out of the sky, you're shifting the entire battle space to the mastery of light itself. It's a fundamental rewrite of the rules of engagement, literally eliminating the need to constantly reload physical magazines. Now, in a modern, multi-layered air defense architecture, you don't just throw away your old missiles. No, you integrate them. You've got radar detecting the incoming threats, traditional surface-to-air missiles handling the heavy, high-altitude targets like cruise missiles, and then you've got mobile laser DEWs instantly engaging the fast-moving, low-altitude swarms. When you put it all together, the kinetic interceptors and the instant response lasers complement each other perfectly to create this almost impenetrable multi-layered shield. The hard data from defense research shows exactly why the shift is happening so fast. Just consider the reaction times, under 2 seconds for laser, compared to up to 15 seconds for a traditional surface-to-air missile. And the magazine depth? A laser is virtually unlimited as long as it has a power source, whereas a missile launcher is eventually going to run empty. Plus, think about the collateral damage. A missile creates a massive blast radius, but a laser provides highly localized, incredibly precise energy. So, the really crucial point here is the financial math of warfare, which brings us to this absolutely mind-blowing number. Less than $10. That is the cost of the electrical energy required for a single laser DW shot. Less than $10. Compare that to a single surface-to-air missile, which costs anywhere from $30,000 to well over $1 million per shot. When a cheap, maybe $1,000 drone swarm attacks, spending $1 million to shoot just one down is a massive financial loss. Lasers completely flip that math in favor of the defender. Because that strategic advantage is so immense, there is a massive global race to deploy these systems. The United States is rolling out systems like the vehicle-mounted DMSSORAD and the naval Helios lasers. Israel is deploying the Iron Beam to complement its famous Iron Dome. India is rapidly advancing its indigenous Aditya and Chess programs, and China is actively pushing its Silent Hunter platform. Basically, every major power right now is integrating high-energy lasers into wheeled vehicles, naval ships, and ground bases to secure their airspace. But, it's not quite as easy as just flipping a switch. There is a huge technological bottleneck preventing absolute laser dominance right now, and that's thermal management. When you generate a high-energy laser beam, a staggering 60 to 70% of the input electrical energy actually becomes waste heat. If you don't manage that heat, the optical components will literally distort or melt. So fielding a laser isn't just about raw power, it requires these incredibly massive, complex liquid cooling loops and heat exchangers just to keep the system firing. Now, while mastering lasers represents the current frontier of national defense, the horizon of global security stretches even further. We're actually moving from the speed of light straight into the subatomic realm. To truly grasp the future of international power dynamics, we have to look beyond the physical world entirely and step into the mind-bending science of quantum mechanics. Picture the core of a modern quantum computer. It honestly looks like some kind of avant-garde art installation, a giant, intricate golden chandelier. It operates at temperatures colder than deep space just to manipulate subatomic particles. And this isn't just some abstract science experiment. As highlighted by recent RAND analysis, this mesmerizing hardware represents the ultimate theoretical weapon in information warfare. We're talking about the potential to eventually crack the complex encryption algorithms that currently protect literally all global internet traffic and military communications. The RAND report meticulously breaks down this subatomic battle space into 3 distinct arenas. First up, you have quantum sensing. This is going to allow submarines and aircraft to navigate flawlessly without GPS and provide radar that can literally see right through stealth technology. Second is quantum communication, which relies on the fundamental laws of physics to create ultra-secure data transmissions that instantly expose any eavesdropping. And finally, quantum computing, offering unfathomable processing power to design new advanced materials, revolutionize biochemistry, and inevitably threaten our current encryption standards. The geopolitical balance of power in this subatomic race is incredibly nuanced. The source materials indicate that right now, the United States is broadly considered the world leader in quantum computing power and quantum sensing development. Conversely, China has taken the definitive lead in quantum communication. In fact, they're the only country to successfully launch a satellite capable of transmitting quantum-secure intercontinental data. So it's a highly competitive, bifurcated technological race, and it has immense strategic implications for both nations. But you're probably wondering, when is all this actually going to happen? Well, the timeline is staggered. In the near term, like within the next few years, we'll start seeing advanced quantum sensors deployed for GPS-denied navigation. In the midterm, we'll see a broader rollout of those secure quantum communication networks. The most disruptive threat, however, that scaled-up quantum computer capable of breaking global internet encryption, is projected to be at least a decade or more away. The hardware simply has to mature significantly before it can achieve that level of raw processing power. So let me leave you with this really provocative thought. Think back to that 1960s Cuba documentary we discussed at the very beginning. In an era where the skies are defended by invisible, light-speed laser shields, and the true battleground is shifting to subatomic quantum computers and unhackable satellites, is the concept of a physical, geographic military intervention finally obsolete? It's something to seriously consider as we watch these incredible technologies unfold. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Young Lord Tech, and I'll see you next time as we continue to unpack the future.